background as we spoke already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's wait for a few more minutes. Meanwhile, others will join. We'll start this.
Okay.
Hey, hi, Raghu. Good evening. Okay, guys, let me start the session. I'm sharing my screen. Okay, so you're able to see my screen, guys?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So just first of all, I will give a quick introduction of myself and then we'll start with the course objective. Okay. So I am Vinod and having around 14 years of experience and completely into the data engineering. So I worked on different databases, started with Oracle and then I worked on Teradata, Postgres, Redshift and Snowflake. So since last 5 years, I have been giving trainings on Snowflake and some other ETL tools like Matillion and DBT, Airflow, one of the scheduling tool also I'm teaching here. Okay, so this is a like quick introduction about myself. Now, what is this course? Like what you learn from this course? Let us try to understand. Okay, so before that, uh, if you see any data engineering job description, right? So you will be seeing a lot of technologies or tools they will be asking. Okay, so for example, I am going to LinkedIn and simply I'm just searching for data engineering profiles. Okay. Okay, so randomly just I'm picking this particular Warner Bros. This one, Discovery one. So let me see what is the job description here. So what is the technologies they are seeking for? Okay. Uh, So if you see here, they are asking any something like SQL. Okay, so structured query language, and they are asking about Snowflake or Redshift kind of data warehouses, and they are asking about some Python scripting or some other scripting here. Okay, and they are asking about some cloud experience like AWS is preferred here, right? So there are different technologies in the data engineering path actually. Okay, so there are some good animations also to learn data engineering here. Okay, so I will share with that later. But what I am going to cover as part of this course. Okay, so because most of the people will be learning Snowflake and keeping resume like I'm a Snowflake developer. So nowadays people are expecting multiple things. Okay, so first what we are going to learn in this course, I'm going to show you. Okay. So as a data engineer, we need to know some essential things. So you don't need to learn a list of 10 to 15 tools here. Okay. So what are the things that you need to learn? So, okay. So just I'm going to show. So first of all, any data engineer. So if you want to enter into the data engineering industry, so first of all that you need to learn is SQL, guys. Okay. SQL is structured query language. Okay. So you need to know about SQL. This is the first step to entering into the data engineering area. Okay. Now, once you learn SQL, now you need to learn any modern data warehouse. Okay, so like Snowflake. Okay, there are a lot of other data warehouses also in the market, like Redshift, BigQuery, Teradata, SAP HANA, but Snowflake is leading in the market here. Okay, now once you learn the Snowflake, right? So previously, when 5 years back, if you know Snowflake, that was enough. Like SQL and Snowflake, you can enter into the Snowflake developer or Snowflake data engineer. Okay, now now the things are different, so people are asking for multiple things. Okay, so you may need to know about any of the cloud technologies. Okay, any of the cloud technologies like AWS or Microsoft Azure or Google. Okay, these are the three cloud vendors in the market here. So first you need to know the AWS here. Okay, so or AWS or any other cloud. So I suggest if you want to step into the data engineering area, so I suggest as per my experience, so these three are the mandatory things, guys. So if you want to enter here or if you want to clear any interview, first you need to learn these three things. Okay, so what I would suggest is you should have like SQL and Snowflake, you should be expert or more than average skills you should have. AWS, if you have basic skill, that is fine here. Okay, so these are the mandatory skills, but apart from that, maybe on the job or some basic experience on other tools is also required. Okay, so people are asking some ETL tools. Okay, ETL tools like Matillion. So this is the one that I was teaching before, Matillion. Okay, or Informatica is one of the other ETL tools, right? And also people are expecting something like nowadays there is a in the ETL area there is one new tool has come, DBT, data build tool. Okay, and also there is one more scheduling tool called Airflow. Okay, Airflow, right? So then and people are asking for some basic Python scripting also. Okay. Okay, so the list goes on actually for a data engineer. But if you want to start, just first of all, try to learn these three skills. Okay, so now what I'm going to cover as part of this course is we are going to mainly focus on Snowflake. That is around like 25 hours of sessions on Snowflake. Then uh, how we can integrate AWS with Snowflake. That's what I'm going to teach you. And how we are going to integrate a ETL tool called Matillion with Snowflake. Okay, this is also I'm going to teach you. So this is around like 4 to 5 hours. Okay, and I am going to teach you how to integrate DBT and Airflow together with Snowflake. Okay, together with Snowflake. So this is the course content, guys, that I am going to cover as part of this course. So it's completely not only Snowflake. I am going to focus on multiple other things. I am going to give you some intros, or like you can clear the interview like with this knowledge actually. Okay, so once you enter into the job, you can dig deep into these tools. Okay, and even I am doing some special classes on DBT, which is very good to know with Snowflake. If you see the job descriptions, people are asking Snowflake plus DBT as well. Okay, but our focus mainly is on Snowflake and all other things like Matillion, DBT, Airflow, AWS. So these things I am going to cover like basic introductions on each and every tool here. Okay, so this is a complete full stack data engineering course you can think of here. Okay, so clear, guys, or you have any question on the course content? Anyone have any question?
Hello.
Okay, yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah, Vijay, tell me.
Yeah, I'm just curious about how the integration to Snowflake and I mean, how can we connect to Snowflake using Python? It's just a connector, but how well the integration will be taught is what I am curious about.
Okay, okay. So previously I used to, I mean, teach Python as well, like some use cases, but the course was taking a lot of time. So just we can do actually, I'll also show the integration. So it's a, see, Python has connectors to every database here. Okay. So you have, if you want to connect to Oracle, it has a package called, we call it as packager module here, CX Oracle. If you want to connect to Postgres, it is PSYCOPG package. For Snowflake, we have a Snowflake connector here. Okay, so you can simply pass your credentials and then call the methods of that particular class and then connect to the Snowflake. Okay, and
No, I got that actually. Even yeah, I wrote the Snowflake connector also, and I connected to Snowflake using Python. But
right.
yeah, I did not do any big deal of stuff using Python. But will we be
Okay,
given
okay.
any mini project or anything as such to integrate all these tools and show?
Yes,
Uh,
yes. Yeah, you asked the right question. So my objective of this course is we are going to build a data pipeline. So as a data engineer, we are going to build a data pipeline. I will explain for other people what is a data pipeline is later. We are going to build a three data pipelines actually. The first pipeline will be only using Snowflake. Okay, so the first pipeline, let me open one notepad. So we are going to do three assignments with the same data sets. Okay, so I did this for previous batch also. So I am going to give you some basic data sets. Okay, maybe some product sales, customer data sets. So what we are going to do is we are going to build the three data pipelines using all these tools. So the first data pipeline that we are going to build is only using Snowflake. Okay, sorry, not module, it's pipeline one. We are going to use maybe some Python plus Snowflake. Okay, Python plus Snowflake, Python plus Snowflake here. And second pipeline that we are going to build is Matillion plus Snowflake. Matillion plus Snowflake. And the third pipeline that we are going to build is DBT, and then we are going to use Airflow. Then we are going to use Snowflake. So Snowflake is common because it's a data warehouse. So these I'm going to cover these three data pipelines, okay, by combining all these tools together. Got it?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So any other questions, guys? Okay. So do you have any question?
Can you please go back to the pipelines that you have showed us?
Okay.
Okay, here Python plus Snowflake, Matlion plus Snowflake, and DBT Airflow plus Snowflake. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now, uh, because some people already know why we are using all these tools, it's fine for you. But where exactly these kind of tools fit in the pictures, like what kind of business problem we are going to solve. So why we are using all these tools and what kind of business problem we are going to solve, right? So let me take one scenario. Let's say you're ordering some product from the Amazon e-commerce website, right? So there, when you're buying a product and after buying a product or searching a product, so you will be getting some recommendations like saying this, buy this product and this product together, you will get this much discount, or some you might be getting some promotional emails from Amazon saying, so this is an exclusive offer for you as a privileged customer, you have this discount on this particular product, right? So Amazon is indirectly increasing their business by doing all this analytics, right? So what is happening in the background generally, right? So let us try to understand what is happening in the background. So what happens is in Amazon's case, let us say there will be some databases called OLTP databases, online transaction processing databases. Okay, so what these databases do is they are going to store the current data. Okay, so when I'm saying current data, so when you're ordering some products, so the order information, the product information, the customer information, so everything will be stored in OLTP systems. Okay, so why they are called OLTP, online transaction processing, is they are designed in such a way that the response from these systems are really faster. It will be in milliseconds to seconds, or you can say seconds. Okay, so when you perform some transaction, like you're ordering a product, you will be getting the response really quicker, right? So those kind of data we are going to store it in the OLTP system here. Okay. So it's a small database which is really faster, handles small volumes of data. But let's say you have been using this particular Amazon for last 10 to 15 years. Now, what I will do with this last, maybe I'm keeping 3 years data here, then what I will do with the remaining 7 years data, that historical data. Okay, so these systems are not able to handle the huge volumes of data. Okay, so because of that reason, we are going to move that historical data into a, you can think of it's a big database, and we call it as OLAP, online analytical processing systems. Okay, this is OLTP, and these databases are designed to handle huge volumes of data really faster by using some parallel processing techniques. Okay, so now we will be moving this particular historical data from the OLTP system to OLAP systems. Okay, right? So then what is the need of moving this historical data? So what you do with this historical data? Okay, so what we are going to do is actually we are going to first load the data into this OLAP systems. Okay, and let us call this, we call this data as raw data that is coming from OLTP systems or any source systems. And then we are going to do some transformations, or we are going to change this data into consumable format. Okay, so that is called curated data. Okay, so let's put it here. This is curated data. Okay, so in between, what we are going to do is we are going to do a transformation of this data. So we are going to change this data through some transformation. So then what is this transformation? I'll give you this example. Let's say from Amazon, I'm getting daily sales data. Okay, but I want monthly sales data, yearly sales data, quarterly sales data, right? So I am going to do some aggregation. Okay, so I'm going to sum up all the day values to a month, all the months to an year. So something like that, we are going to do the transformation here. Okay, now you have this curated data. Okay, now why you need this curated data is there are two stakeholders who are going to consume this data. Okay, so one is your data visualization engineers. Okay, and the second stakeholder is your data scientist. Okay, data scientist. So what they are going to do with this data is, maybe the visualization engineer is going to generate some beautiful reports to present it to the higher management. Okay, so I wanted to know like what is my particular product sales in this particular region. So they are going to show with some charts and those pictorial representation, right? So that's what they are going to do here. Now the other guy, the data scientist, is going to apply some algorithms, some data science algorithms. So you are also seeing now generative AI like ChatGPT, right? So ChatGPT also uses all this historical data, and they are going to come up with some recommendations, some promotional emails, some predictions, right? So all those stuff they are going to do in the data science part here. Okay, now this guy is a data scientist, this guy is a visualization engineer or data analyst, we can say. Now where exactly data engineer comes into picture is this part. Okay, now let me take this. So all this pipeline building, we call complete process as data pipeline here. So we are going to sit here. We are going to take care of this particular process. Okay, so we are data engineers and we are going to build the data pipelines and make the data in the curated form here. So this process, getting the data from source system and putting it into OLAP system or OLTP system to OLAP system is called extraction. Extracting the data, extraction, and loading into your data, your OLAP system. So extraction, loading, transformation. So this is our main objective. So we call it as ELT, extraction, loading, and transformation here. So now where this Snowflake, where this DBT, where this Airflow comes into picture, right? So one example of OLAP is Snowflake. So Snowflake comes here. So one example of ELT tool is Matillion. So Matillion can do this here. Okay, so if you want to do only transformations, there DBT fits. Only for transformations, we are going to use a tool called DBT. And if you want to do some scheduling part, so generally these pipelines will run every day at in the night time, like in the business non-business hours, right? So you need some scheduling tool for that. So we are going to use something called Airflow, which is going to schedule all this, trigger all these data pipelines here. Okay. So if you take the example of OLTP system, it can be Oracle or Postgres or MySQL. There are a lot of databases, OLTP databases. So here, OLTP system, or we call it as data warehouse also. This can be called as data warehouse. So why it is called data warehouse? So general terms, a warehouse means a big room which can store multiple things, right? So it's a data warehouse where it can store multiple lot of historical data. So the source can be a simple database, or it can be a sensor data, IoT data, right? Or it can be data from a social networking websites like Facebook, Twitter, right? So it can be anything. So there could be different sources. Okay. So different sources, we are going to get the data into our data warehouse, and then we are going to curate the data here. Okay, so this is what a regular data engineer does. So yeah, this is the data pipeline generally. So this is where all your tools that I was talking about will fit. Okay, so any questions here?
Hi Vinod, I'm Suganya here. So what
Yes,
is
Ganya.
what DBT do? It will collect the like it will run the job, or we will schedule the something information and we will create the job to run the database, or what is it going to do?
DBT, right? DBT.
Yeah.
So DBT see, as a data engineer, we have three steps: extraction, loading, and transformation, right? So you're extracting the data from source, putting it into the raw data, and then you're curating it. So I'll give you one example. So let's say uh, generally if you consider a lake, okay, if you consider a pond, you are getting the raw water from rain, right? So you can think of this is a raw water. Okay, now that raw water can be curated for drinking water, or it can be used for agriculture purpose, right? So that water is transformed into some other format so that it can be consumable. So this particular transformation is done by your DBT. Okay, only
Okay.
this particular transformation is done by DBT. It does not deal with extraction and loading. But if you consider Matillion, it is going to extract, load, and do the transfer. Every three things it is going to do in one shot. Okay, but you might get one more doubt. See, when Matillion is there, or Matillion or Informatica, you are doing extraction, loading, transformation. Then why exclusively you are using DBT for transformation? That might be your question, right?
Yeah,
So
correct.
right, so actually DBT has some good features. Okay, so when I start about DBT, I'll tell you which other tools are not having. So DBT is really having some good features like code version control integration, data quality testing, and a lot of other features. So that's the reason if you see any job description now, Snowflake, DBT, Airflow, this is the combination that is running in the market now.
Understood. Okay. Thanks, Vinu.
Any other questions, guys?
Will we be talking about dynamic tables?
Okay, so see, coming to the Snowflake features, guys. So this is a basic course. So people who are not aware of Snowflake, this will be helpful. So I'll show you this, what I'm going to cover for Snowflake contents. Dynamic tables and let's say directory tables, and those are like very new. I mean, some of the advanced concepts. So first of all, we are going to cover, as part of this course, we are going to cover only the basic core concept of Snowflake. So like Snowflake architecture and how you create the trial account, how you do the administration part, object hierarchy, roles part, and how we can ingest the data from different source system into Snowflake using bulk loading and Snowpipe, and how you can build the data pipeline using Snowflake streams and tasks, and how you can use stored procedures and user defined functions, right? So these things you can do. And what are the special features that are only specific to Snowflake, like data cloning, time travel, data sharing, virtual warehouses, micro partitions, right? Data masking, all these things I'm going to cover. So with this module 5, we are going to complete Snowflake, and this is a core concept. So whatever you're asking, the dynamic tables and other features are some of like advanced concept. I'm planning to have a separate course on that. But first of all, you need to know the core concepts, then you can switch to the next slide.
Do you have any Snowflake advanced course content ready?
Actually, I'm planning that in Jan, not now. Actually,
Okay, okay.
so this is for exclusively for the people who want to know the core concepts. Actually, okay.
Yeah, yeah. If there is any advanced course content also, yeah, I can pay for both together. That way, I know what is coming my way.
Got it, got it. So what I'm going to do, right? So once this particular core part is completed, and once we are done with all this course, which I'm explaining now, I'm plan. If you want to continue in the advanced part, so I'm going to share the details with you, so you can continue there.
Okay. Yeah. So, but the pipelines that you have told, right? Like, are they like just a one, like like unidirectional pipeline that will be shown like in one class, like we can show all three of them and done, or like will it
No,
be
no,
any
no.
comprehensive project, anything as such? Or?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to share you some CSV files. Okay, first of all, I'm going to share you some CSV files, and then you are going to ingest the data. So once Snowflake features are completed, so you are going to work on the first pipeline. Okay, so first you are going to work on the first pipeline. Now I'll start with Matillion. So once Matillion is completed, the same pipeline will be implemented using Matillion. So for that, what I'm going to give you is I'm going to create one source, actually for one Postgres database. Okay, and then from there we are going to extract using Matillion and Snowflake. Okay, similar from the same Postgres database, we are going to do it through DBT, Airflow, and Snowflake.
Okay, so Python will we be writing any like any comprehensive framework to like load the data and establish that framework, like
Yes.
hey,
Uh,
there is a file in AWS, pick that file using Python module, and then
Correct.
yeah, load it to.
Yes, we can do. Actually, the extraction, I'll show you. Okay, I forgot to tell you. We can do, yeah, only using Python and Snowflake, right? So I'm going to show you here uh, using Python instead of Matillion. So we can use Python to extraction load from the source system. I'll show you that. Okay.
Yeah, because because many of the companies, right, Snowflake
Hmm.
itself is expensive, so they don't want to pay for any ETL tools. So in our case, we are not using any ETL tools. We are using Snowflake exclusively to load the data also. Like we are writing stored procedures
Hmm.
to extract the data from the data lakes and put it in the marts. And from there,
Okay.
like we are extracting again using stored procedures
Right.
and putting in the script tables and then generate everything only Snowflake, no Matleon or. But yeah, Matleon is a great tool. Like is a lot of companies are using it.
Hmm.
But some people who are who don't want to pay for licenses, they will be exploiting the benefits of
Correct.
Python.
Correct. There are two kind of architectures you see in the market. So one is like as you said, using Python kind of customized frameworks with Snowflake,
Mm,
and another one is using the existing tools in the market. The thing
tools,
is,
yeah.
there are one pro. I mean, I'll tell you the pros and cons of each and every approach. So if you take the existing tools like Matillion, so as you said, the cost is more because you need to do licensing and all. But the advantage with this tool is so you can set up your project faster. Okay, so it has all the ready-made components and you can set up your pipelines very faster. And it's the learning curve for the resources is very less. So it's you don't need to do programming much. So it's very easy. But when you go for Python, so you need to have the actual perfect resources who know everything, right? So the resource cost, I mean the manual cost, the manpower cost also increases there, and the time to set up your pipeline may be more when compared to the tools. So it depends on your architect or your company decision. Because the project I worked, we mostly use the tools there.
Tools are-
Yeah, it depends on your
Yeah,
project budget and
right. Right, yeah, we are you're solely depending on Python now. Yeah.
yeah, that's good actually. I mean, you have your own customized things, but you're reinventing again. I mean, all the things which are already solved. Yeah, that's one thing. But as a resource, you will be learning a lot of things there.
Yeah, but so here, as part of this course, like, will we be given any project as such, like, which will tell us, like, or just one example will be given?
See, as part of this course, these one assignment with these three pipelines. So I'll show you, like, you'll get an idea what I'm going to give. I already done this for a previous batch. So generally, yeah, this is how I do. So I'm going to upload all the recordings in one place actually. Um, yeah. So see, I'm going to provide you some sample CSV files, or you may, I mean, we are going to create a Postgres database and load the data there. And then we are going to see like this. So I'm going to show you the assignment question also. Okay, so product customer sales. So you are going to load this data, and then you are going to create all the three data pipelines with three data sets here. And I have written what transformation you need to do for each and every table in bit for each and every table and load it into final tables here, dimension and fact tables. Okay, so this is what I'm covering. But if you want to have a complex project, so there are a lot of resources available. I can guide you there.
Yeah, that will be really helpful actually. Yeah, no doubt. Like the course content looks great for a beginner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
If you're
so
if you're looking for advanced thing, yeah, I need to
yeah.
plan that. So I'm in the plan of that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Like yeah, learning the concepts is easy, but yeah, that implementing and integrating
Implementing
is important.
is
Yeah.
correct. So I mean that's where the people differentiate, right? So when you go to the
Uh,
market, so in the interview, they're going to ask the lot of real-time questions.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like I was given a question, like just I was asked to connect to the system, and I was asked to share the screen and asked to write a Snowflake connector for using Python, and yeah, load some data. So before that,
Yes, yeah.
also.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah,
Nowadays, most of the people are adapting the similar kind of interview process. Actually, yeah, true.
right. I think yeah, those are covered. Those things are covered in the course content. So I think that will be useful for the beginners. But
Yeah,
yeah, okay. Thank you for the clarification.
yeah.
But can you share your contact? I want to just separately talk. I don't want to disturb the whole class. I just wanted to interact separately so that I will not
Okay,
be using other time.
sure. Yeah, I'll share. I mean, you can contact. I mean, the career IT people. So I think you're joining through career IT, right?
Yes. Correct. Yeah.
Okay, you ping them after the session. We can talk. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Thank you.
Any other questions, guys?
Hey, this is Raghu. Are you able to
Hey, Raghu.
on WhatsApp? Can you just post the meeting ID for this? Because I'm not able to log in on the Windows machine with the link.
Uh-huh.
So if you can
Oh,
just
is
click,
it?
yeah, I don't know, maybe it's something with my Windows, but
I mean, as with the same link, others have joined. There is
yeah, I'm
no.
able to join on the phone, but on the computer for some reason it's but it's so if you have the meeting ID, that way I can
Uh,
see if
mm,
it's in
One
your
second.
yeah.
I don't have any meeting ID. I don't have any meeting ID actually. So others, I think Pradeep, you joined with the same link, right? So you're able to join from the system.
System, yes, correct.
Okay. I think Raghu, some problem with your machine or what?
Yeah, that's okay. Fun. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'll change the link. I mean, this is only for the demo. Okay. I'll change the link from Monday.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so then so we discussed like what are the tools we are going to cover and course objective, right? So let's try to understand how to spin up a Snowflake account. Then we are going to see some Snowflake architecture. So today, like I'm going to discuss the Snowflake architecture, and then we can wrap up this session. Okay. So let me in this diagram again. Okay, so now I told you a Snowflake is coming in this OLAPR data warehouse area, right? So now Snowflake is not a normal data warehouse, it's a cloud data warehouse. Okay, so Snowflake cannot be installed on your machine directly. Okay, so if you take Oracle, you can take the setup file and download it and install it on your machine. But Snowflake does not support that. It's only the cloud data warehouse. So generally it runs on three different clouds, okay, that are there in the market. So we call it as hyperscalers, AWS, GCP, Google Cloud Platform, and Microsoft Azure. So these are the three clouds that are going to support Snowflake. So you can install it on, or you can choose any of the cloud to run this particular Snowflake. So what is the advantage of running your software on the cloud is you don't worry about the installation process, all the infra process. Okay. So for example, let's say I want to develop some data pipeline. So you just quickly create a Snowflake account within 2 to 5 minutes and generally directly jump into the data pipeline development. But if you take the other, I mean, the legacy things, you need to install the software, you need to set up a lot of other things, right? So it's very easy to set up a Snowflake account on the cloud, and you don't need a lot of good laptop configuration for practice also. It's everything is running on the cloud. So basic internet connection with good speed is enough for you. Okay. So now let's see how to create a Snowflake account. Okay. Trial account from the uh, Google here. Okay. So just go here. So Snowflake is providing 30 days free trial account, guys. So you can create the free trial account, and after 30 days, if it expires, don't worry, again you can create with the same ID. Okay. Okay, again, looks like they changed the form. Okay. Some, some reason select. Previously it was different. Okay. Huh. So now some details you fill it. Okay, so see here, there are three types of editions available for Snowflake. Okay, standard, enterprise, and business critical. So depending on the edition, you'll get the features actually. So similar way that you are going to buy a car, and depending on the variation, the features vary, right? So similar way, standard, enterprise, business critical. So business critical being the highest edition of Snowflake, and enterprise is the middle one. Standard is very basic features. So enterprise is enough for us to explore all the features. So I'm choosing enterprise here. Now here it is asking like what is the cloud that you want to run on. Okay, so you want to run on Microsoft Cloud or Amazon Cloud or Google Cloud. Okay, so I'm choosing AWS because any feature that comes in Snowflake first comes on AWS. So if you want to explore some new feature, it's better to go on AWS. Most of the time they started with AWS, so then they migrate to Azure and Google. Okay, and then just click on this particular checkbox and get started. You can skip these questions. So it will take 1 minute or 2 minutes to get the email, and you can simply switch on this Snowflake account. Okay, I'll open my Gmail ID meanwhile. So like this, you are going to get a email here. Okay, activate your Snowflake account. So simply just click on this button. So first initial username you need to set up. Okay, and you need to give the password here. Then get started. See, so within 2 to 3 minutes, I'm able to sign into my Snowflake account, right? So how easy it is, right? Now, this is the Snowflake user interface, browser-based user interface, and we call it as Snow Site. Okay, and lot of things to explore. There keep on updating things. Okay, first of all, let us try to see how basically how you can start exploring this particular UI. Okay, so to run any queries, okay, to create anything, first you need to open a SQL worksheet. Okay, so where you can open the SQL worksheet is go to this projects. Okay, and the worksheets, click on this plus symbol. Okay, so it's going to create a worksheet. So worksheet is an area where you can run your queries. So like you write your Python code in Jupyter Notebook, right? A similar way worksheet is that kind of area here. Okay, now if you see in the left hand side, you are going to see the databases that are created in Snowflake. Okay, so these are like already existing databases which is coming with some sample data to explore. Okay, so let's say I want to run some query here. So what I'm going to do is there are a lot of tables here. So I'm going to take some normal table like called customer. So let's say I want to query the customer data here. So simply I'll say select. Okay, you don't need to type the table name, just click on here, place name in editor, and to run the query, you can click on this run button. Okay, so now you are able to see the results here, and in the right hand side you are going to see what is the query duration and what is the query ID, and you are going to see some statistics about each and every column, how much it is filled, what is the minimum value, what is the value frequency. So everything they are going to show here in the right hand side here. Okay, so this is how you can spin up your Snowflake account and then you can run the query here. Okay, now let us try to understand what is happening when I am submitting this query to the Snowflake. So that is where this Snowflake architecture comes into picture. right? So if you see in the Snowflake architecture, there are 3 layers. This is the first layer, second layer, and third layer. So what is this layer is going to do? Okay, the first layer is called cloud services layer. Okay, so we call it as cloud services layer, and this is the brain of Snowflake. Okay, so what this particular query is going to do? So first of all, this cloud services layer is going to check the syntax of your query. Syntax of your query. So what does this mean is, let's say I'm missing some from clause here and submitting this query. Okay, so it's saying there is some problem with your query, something is missing here. Okay, so everything is grammatically correct, it is going to check. Okay, so similar way, it is going to resolve your objects, whether that particular table is existing in your database, or if the table is existing in your database but your user ID or your role is not having the access. Okay, so let's say instead of customer, I give customer 100. So it's going to throw customer 100 does not exist here. Okay, so that part, cloud services layer is going to do. And the third thing is optimizer plan. Optimizer plan. So what is an optimizer plan or optimizer in database? Anyone who already worked, what is an optimizer? Every database will have this component. What does an optimizer will do? Any guess? Okay, so when I'm running the query, I need to get the data quickly, right? So what this optimizer is going to do is, it is going to generate multiple paths to access your data. Okay, so for example, you are reading a book. Okay, so and there are you read 9 chapters, and in between you left the book and you want to come back to chapter 10. So there are 2 ways to go to chapter 10, right? So either you can go page by page by flipping one by one, or you can check that index page and check where is chapter 10 and directly jump there. So sometimes going page by page is faster, sometimes going through index is faster. Similar way to access your data, there are multiple paths. So optimizer is going to check those multiple paths and going to give you the uh, fastest plan here. Okay, so once the optimizer plan is generated, so you're good. So cloud services layer major things are completed. But apart from this, it is going to capture the metadata also. So what is metadata? What is metadata, guys? Anyone have any idea? If you have worked on any database, you should know about this.
It's a data about data.
Yeah, so the formal definition is data about data. That means, let's say I'm creating a table in my database. So it is going to store what is my table in another place. It is going to store what is my table, what are the columns, what is the data type of it, what is the size of it. So everything will be captured in one place, in one database. So that is your metadata. Okay. So all these things are done by your cloud services layer. So once your query is good and optimizer plan is generated, then it is going to the second layer. Okay, so in the diagram, this is the second layer. Okay, and what is this layer is called very important layer, compute layer. Okay, so we call it as compute layer. So what is this compute layer is? See, in order to get the data and do some computation, so you need some computing power, right? So you need to, let's say you're joining 2 tables, or you're aggregating the data of a table from a monthly sales to yearly sales. So you need to do some operations, right? So you need some computation power, some servers to do that. Okay. So in the background, there has to be some server with some resources like RAM, processor, everything. Okay. So that servers will sit in the compute layer here. And that server is called virtual warehouse. Okay, so that particular server is called virtual warehouse in Snowflake, and that virtual warehouse comes with different sizes, t-shirt sizes. Okay, so it comes with extra small, small, medium, large, something like this. Okay, so if you want to see that here in this user interface, this is where you'll select your virtual warehouse. Okay, so compute underscore WH is my default virtual warehouse, and it is coming with different sizes here. Okay, so see extra small, small, medium. So currently it is in extra small. So you are going to run the query with extra small size here. Okay, but let us assume this extra small size is not enough for me. So I am not unable to fit this table, or this particular query is taking maybe so many hours, like 3 hours, but I want to complete it in 2 hours. Maybe I can go for a big warehouse. So when you go for a big warehouse, you will get more resources. So I'm resizing this warehouse to small now. So this query might complete faster than earlier. Okay, so might, I mean, every time it is not true. So there are cases, but if you increase the size of the warehouse, you will get more resources, more computing power, more memory to load your data. So you'll get the results faster. But cost associated with this is more when compared to the extra small. Okay, so that is what your compute layer is. So the main heart of compute layer is virtual warehouse here. Okay, so clear guys, are any questions in these two layers? Okay, now in the architecture, the third layer is storage layer. Okay, so this is where you can you store your data permanently, your table data permanently. Okay, so you can think of this as a hard disk of your computer. So permanently it is stored. Okay, so and the data is stored in the form of micro partitions here. Micro partitions here. Okay, so I'll show you one diagram how the data is stored here. See, I have a table with 4 columns and 24 rows. So my data is projected into stored into my 4 micro partitions. Just an example I'm giving. So micro partition 1 stores 1 to 6 rows, 2 stores 7 to 12 rows, 3 stores 13 to 18 rows, and 4 stores 19 to 24 rows. So this is how it is going to store the data in the form of micro partitions here. Now tell me, what is the advantage of storing the data in the form of micro partitions or partitions? Forget about micro. What is the advantage of storing the data in the form of partitions? Any guess?
Easy to access.
Correct. So fast access. Okay. So for example, let's say I have 10 years of data. Okay, like 2001 to 2010. Now I am writing a query saying select star from table where year equal to 2010. Right. So it is directly go to the particular 2010 partition and hit bring the data. Okay, so let's say I'm running say select star from this table where date equal to 11 by 5. So this partition will not scan. I mean, this is eliminated, this is eliminated, this is eliminated. Only this particular data will be brought into memory. So it is not going to scan the entire partition to get whether we have the data or not. So it is going to collect some statistics. Okay, so I'll always give this example. Let's say there is a school of 10 classes, class 1 to class 10, and I ask you to find student XYZ in class 10, right? So what you're going to do, directly you'll jump to class 10 because you know this is class 10, and then you find that particular student here. Okay, but everyone is sitting together in a single auditorium. It is very difficult to find that student, right? So similar way the partitioning applies here. So you're going to store the data in multiple partitions. And this particular technique is there with other data warehouses also or databases also. But Snowflake has some special feature, micro. Okay, so why it is micro partition, what is the advantage of it, we will discuss later. Okay, so basically the Snowflake architecture has these 3 layers. So one is cloud service layer, which will do all this stuff. Compute layer, which is having the servers. Storage layer is having the micro partitions here. Okay, so clear guys with the architecture, or any question?
Vinod, I have one question. Like in that Oracle also you are doing the same thing, right? But in that Snowflake means what I understand means in that cloud level that OLAP we are querying that data or OLTP for that Oracle like this, right? Means
Yeah,
they are
correct. So
separate.
generally for OLTP, you have Oracle here. I mean, Oracle have OLAP system called Exadata. But yeah, it's not popular. Even in place of Snowflake, you have Redshift, you have Google BigQuery, Microsoft Synapse, multiple other databases are there. But yeah, when you know Oracle, right? So yeah, mostly Oracle fits here and Snowflake fits in the OLAP system.
Okay, got it.
So there is one more database called Postgres, which is really popular. Okay, so that is also used for OLTP systems.
Yeah.
Any other questions, guys, before winding up? So, guys, you're okay with tomorrow's session, Sunday, or?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll communicate on the next session tomorrow. I mean, within an hour, I will communicate. So tomorrow also, I'm planning to continue one more session. So from Monday, we can have regularly. Okay.
Same time.
Ramesh.
Okay.
Yeah, same time. Same time.
That course duration?
It's around 2 months.
Uh,
I mean, you'll have 1 week buffer, so including the 2 months.
Okay.
Okay. So by Jan end, mostly we'll complete.
Okay. Thank you.
I think Ravishekar, you're trying to speak something, or we are unable to hear you.
These are a core subject or advanced also you have to clear.
Sorry.
Advanced topics also you have to.
No, as part of this course, I'm not covering any Snowflake advanced concept. This is only core. Advanced will come next. That is a separate.
Okay, thank you.
So, Vinod, you plan to take on weekdays going on from
Yeah,
Monday?
this is yes, Raghu. Most of the people are requesting for weekdays. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm going with Monday to Friday.
So weekdays should meaning it will be in India night time?
India morning time, 8 a.m. IST. The same time like we joined now, right?
Oh, right now. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. That works.
Okay. Fine, guys. Yeah. Let's meet tomorrow. Then we'll continue the session. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.